Shalom. Given I'm just getting up, so bear with me. Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakwadash, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Now with fun, Kal Halaya, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, "It will soon be a crime to call yourself an Israelite." That's the main topic. And then the secondary topic would be manifest destiny, or manifest destiny. So I thought I said it wrong. Manifest destiny. We're going to get into that word, and also reparations. We're going to get into reparations as well. Let's hope we get into cover all these topics. Anyway, let's start with notifications. Okay, where did I find this? Let me go to the top. Just checking my notifications here. Gotta watch this. The charity shall cover the multitude of sins. You check this one out before it's too late. See what that's all about. I was watching this one, GMSOY bar, white woman called for mass genocide of black people. She was specifically talking about South Africans, which you have a lot of Jakes in South Africa. So he covers that. So I watched maybe, I don't know, most of it, and it caused me to get up and want to do a video. It caused me to go into the definition of the word manifest destiny. Manifest destiny, which we, the Gadites, experience, and we, the kingdom of Yahweh experience. When they took us and put us into slavery, that's manifest destiny. Because it's based upon an American idea, but it's a European idea. Because the first manifest destiny took place where they took down Jake in Europe. And then Columbus coming over here to the Americas, taking it. The first act he did was he killed a lot of the Israelites over here in the Americas. And he took, and it's all documented, and he took back with him to Spain. I believe it was that Seville, I think in Seville, Spain, I think the name of that place is in Spain, Seville. I don't know why Deville keeps coming to my mind. He took back with him in his ships 500 of the Northern Kingdom tribes to become slaves for the sole purpose of becoming slaves. He said, "Oh, these people are nice people. We can put them into slavery." That's the way the devil operates. That's the way he thinks. So that was a form of manifestation, manifest destiny, which is manifestation, something to actually come to pass, to be manifest. And destiny is to come to the goal. Like you have an agenda. An agenda, you say, well, in 10 years, you might say as a young man, going to college. He's saying in 10 years, my goal, uh, which is an agenda, is in 10 years to be worth $100 million. So you got to work at that. So this was a goal that this man had. Most High put the spirit on him. So the fact that we were taken down was a manifestation, what they call manifestation, which they were correct. They took us down because it was destined, and it was manifest. It came to pass, came to light, that we were going to be taken down ultimately by the Most High. Most High put the spirit on him to take us down. And the Most High cheated a little bit. He killed off, 2/3, 66% of the people in Europe, Jake's in Europe, because if the Most High didn't do that, we would have wiped out Esau. He had to kill a lot of us off with that plague, the bubonic and pneumonic plague, which is the same plague, same virus. New law causes. Is this it? New law causes task force to combat Israelites. Let me just bring this up. Okay, here it is. Biden establishes government task force to combat anti-Semitism. So what does that mean? With Kanye, Kyrie being put on blast, and then you had a situation where there was a plot of two so-called white men. Their plan was to attack their buildings, the small hats buildings. Now, come to find out that one of them was actually a small hat. So that would be J on J crime. Yeah, the so-called white man. Another one was a small hat, and I think his grandfather was a Holocaust survivor or something like that. So that was a small hat right there. They said it one time in the news. And really, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But anyway, so they're saying this, they're going to attack, based upon what Jake said, words that Jake used. Kanye said, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on them. When you break the word down, it means I'm going to put up my defenses, on an intellectual level. Def meaning defense, and con meaning condition, and 3 meaning put your defenses up. That's all it means. It's a defensive term. It has nothing to do with attack. But stupid Americans, they hear that word, it sounds kind of scary. It sounds like you're going to do something. Because stupid Americans, they don't study, they don't research. That's why these dumb, stupid fucking Americans, they're bringing back this thing. We're going to have to put the mask. People are going back in the hospital in record numbers. Yeah, because it's December, you fucking dummies. You dimwits. It's fucking December. It's mid-December. It's 12. December 14 is mid-December. What season is it? It's cold and flu season, you dumb pricks. You dumb motherfuckers. You fucking ignoramuses. You dimwits. You assholes. And they believe it. They get the sniffles. They get a cough. They don't feel good. They're congested. I don't know. It might be the C thing. Let me go. And then you know what they tell you? They confirm it. Yeah, you got the C thing. How many jump shots did you get? I got 4 last year. Well, you need 5 more. Okay. And make sure you put your mask back on. You bunch of fucking dimwits. It's a sin to be stupid. Anyway, and then this guy, I call him the walking corpse. This weekend at Barney's. Remember that movie Weekend at Barney's? Well, this it is they call what is it called? Predictive programming. See, they did that. They put that movie together, Weekend at Barney's, to show you that that's going to actually come to pass. And they get, and that's him. That's Barney right there. Weekend at Barney's. Guy's a walking corpse. And I'm not, that it's just a fact. Even Democrats, shake their head when this guy, this is the worst administration ever, 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 ever. Okay, which is indicative of this man going down, and this man is going down. When the Canaanites went down, the scripture said, there was certain events that the Most High did to the Canaanites to knock down the numbers. One of them he did. He sent hornets after them, and the Lord said, "I will take." I'm paraphrasing. Somebody can put the scripture up in the comment section if they want. He said, "I will take them down little by little." As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I know it's in Deuteronomy. I believe, I'm almost positive it's in Deuteronomy chapter 7. Let me just bring this over here. Bear with me for a minute. Slide this over here. And let's see what comes up. It should come up. Boom. I was correct. Deuteronomy 7, verse 22. And see the way the Canaanites were taken down. I'll go through this whole chapter briefly, but the key verse is in the 22nd verse. Is the same way we're gonna pretty much take down Esau. There's gonna be a time where we're gonna have to literally, chop heads when we get the spiritual power. The ones of you that are of the elect, hopeful elect, you're not to pick up something and get physical. We're spiritual men. We do things based upon spiritual power. If we do anything, it's going to be based on us receiving power on high, spiritual power. But the Most High is going to use these jakes to get physical with these people. So, in brief, it speaks about. I don't want to read this whole thing. This is kind of a long chapter. The Most High had to set up the land before Israel got there. See, the land was already set up before, long before Israel, came out of so-called Egypt. It was already established. The land was already cultivated. You had people already over there. That's the fulfillment of Genesis 15, the last couple of verses. It says, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. I'm merely paraphrasing, meaning that the Amorites was another word for right here, Amorites. Amorites represented the Girgashites, Canaanites, which they're all Canaanites. They came out of Canaan. But these are the tribes of the Canaanites. So we know that Genesis chapter 15 is not talking about America, the 400 years. Any Israelite that's teaching that they're not really deep. They really don't understand the scriptures. They don't understand the prophetic part of the scriptures. The dream that Abraham had was of them being in so-called Egypt and coming out and possessing the land. That's why I said for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So it's justified that we take this land, which is manifest destiny. So what did it say? And this is for this blockhead vocab Malone that just keep trying to get if he can get one Gentile to be delivered, that's a door for if one Gentile, just one, all I need is one Gentile. If I can get one Gentile, a scripture that says one Gentile can make it, that means a million Gentiles can make it. That means, well, he teaches that the Gentiles, Christians, the body of believers, will overcome meaning the first people in the kingdom are going to be people of other nations, and then the Israelites going to have to take a back seat to him. So he's a complete clown. He's a joke. Yeah, the one guy, the blockhead, the BK, whatever. Yeah, he looks. Yeah, BK. That's an acronym for Burger King. Nigga look like he stays at Burger King. Anyway, he brings out this one document about in order for you to be under the curses, and we all did videos on it. I did one too. I didn't label it that, and I saw the video, and I said, I'm not even going to do a video on it. This topic is so stupid. You know, you got to agree. You got to sign a contract. You got to sign a contract in order for the Most High to jack you up. If you don't sign that contract, you're going to get nothing but blessings. So I guess at one time or another, we signed that contract. I did a thing where even babies, when babies came out the womb, they said, give me that contract. Give me some sunglasses, some glasses. Give me a pen. Give me that contract so I can sign it. The baby came out crying, signed a contract, and went to sleep. And said, give me a titty. See how stupid that is? Because the curses fell on our babies when they were born. Remember, there was a time where Israelites were eating their babies. So how can that be a blessing? Your parents is cooking you and chopping you up and eat. How in the hell can that be a blessing for a baby? Bunch of fucking idiots, man. And like I said, you Christians need us. We don't need you. The Kemetic community, they need us. We don't need them. Teach that Kemetic shit. I'm only dealing with Kemetic people. I'm only dealing with how many people gonna follow you? He ain't following you, man. And vocab, he gets hits because he puts in his topics, Israel this and Israel that. If he just taught that Christian nonsense that he teach, nobody would follow that guy. Anyway, please forgive me for the rant. I just want to hit some certain key points. Okay, so the Most High identifies the nations that you're going to take over. The Girgashites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites. Second verse, and when Yahweh, thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no contracts with them, nor show mercy unto them. That's what the Most High thinks about the Canaanites. Neither shall thou marry thy daughters with thy sons, and thy sons with thy daughters. For why? For they will turn away thy sons from following me, that they may serve other gods. These gods that they serve are nothing but demons. So these Canaanites were in the demon worship, devil worship. They were worshiping the devil. And Esau worshiped the devil. In Isaiah 47, verse 10 on down, these Edomites worship the same devils that all these demons are demons from the past. Demons that the Canaanites worship, the Assyrians worship, the Babylonians. All these deities that these demons worship, they go back to the people that first worshiped these devils. That's why they were put up on high, because this world is Satan has power over this world. That's in Matthew's the 4th chapter. But 5th verse, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars. Guess what? That Kemetic stuff is going back to Canaanites and Hamites in general. And I'm going to say this. all you guys that are into that Hamed, first of all, none of you Israelites should give these guys the time of day. None of I'm not going to dap them. I don't want to be cool with them. Now I might be cool with them because it says if it in Romans, if it at all possible live peaceably with all men. You say, hey, Sean, how you doing? But you stay away from them, man. You have no business going on none of their shows, talking to them. They're enemies. They're just like Edomites. They're no different than Edomites. And the Most High is going to destroy them too. He's going to destroy all of them. Because here you are, you cool with this dude. And when you turn your back, you got somebody with you that you're a Camite, right? Why would you get with people like that? Why don't you get with Moses, man? Why don't you have guy friends that are straight up Moses and have your sons around them? And that happened with this demon that's in the spiritual realm, Paul Mooney. This guy was popping Richard Pryor's son, and Richard Pryor got mad at it. Well, why you getting mad? He was popping you. You were popping each other. Richard Pryor was a fucking Mo, and Paul Mooney is a Mo, and Richard Pryor's son is a Mo. And so, and he did it behind this guy's back. So it's the same thing with the Comedicism. They're the enemies. Vocab Malone is an enemy. The Comedic community are their enemies. You have no time to stop and let me go spend 2 hours talking to having it. No, fuck them, man. Fuck them. They're the enemy, man. So it says, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images. And so what are we doing now when we come against these small hats and Christianity? And our main enemy is Christianity and the small hats. Because what are we doing? We're destroying their images. Their image was, you got a pasty white guy with the Torah, big Torah, and Rabbi Oskowitz or whatever his name is. They're the enemies. But guess what? This is a spiritual warfare, right? This is spiritual warfare. And this is why they're making us such like the ADL. They say that they're mainly talking about the One Westers. They're a hate group they're a hate group and they're anti-simp. And they're bringing out a false doctrine. That's why you have that this task force. There's a special group of officers that deal with anti-simp. Really, they're going after the Israelites. So they're going to make it a crime for you to call yourself an Israelite, which you are. So you know what you do? This is for all you Israelites out there. If you see the small hats, ignore them. Ignore them. Don't say nothing to them. If you see them, don't call. Hey, you don't do that. Just let them walk down the street. They're gonna walk down the street anyway because they fear you anyway. But if they should come up and want to talk to you, what is this all about? You'd be cool with them. Romans 12, I believe that's 19. If it at all possible, live peaceably with all men. It said, live, I'm paraphrasing, be honest among the Gentiles. It's talking about Israelites, but it's talking about actual Gentiles too. You got to be straight with them. You ain't supposed to do nothing to hurt another nation because this our warfare is a spiritual one. Now, if a small hat comes to talk to you, you talk to them in a civil way. He said, well, we found out through the scriptures that we are the real people, and you got to tell them that they're Edomites. None of these small hats mention anything about Edomites, and they know about the Edomites. They know the difference between Yaakov, and Esau. When you say Jacob and Esau, they look at you funny. Well, Jacob and Esau, you say Yaakov and Esau. Oh, I know the story. I know the story about the Yaakov and Esau. I know that story. Esau is the bad guy. He said, we come out of Yaakov. And then you tell him, nope. He said, you are Esau. They teach him that. There was a video of this rabbi with no beard on his face, He went into the actual story of Jacob and Esau, and he said, Esau is angry red. And he said, and Jacob is vanilla, like vanilla ice cream. I said, are you kidding me? I said, you are the Edomites. All so-called white people descend. When I say that, I'm talking about the ones that actually descend through their fathers or your Esau. Now you're gonna have Israelites that look like Edomites, so you got to know the difference. It says, and cut down their groves. And what is a grove? The modern day groves are these churches. When they build a church from the ground up, it's like when you go inside the church, the outside the church is a certain way. Go inside the church, and you look up, you see that the walls are not, straight walls. They're like oval walls with, how can you say, like a beam crisscrossing. That represents the groves of the trees, because that's what Jake was doing. That's in Isaiah 65. He was out there in the groves, and they were worshiping demons, and they were eating swine flesh. That's also in Ezekiel chapter 8. That's why when you read, if you're going to read Ezekiel chapter 9, you read Ezekiel chapter 8, so you can understand why the Most High sent the death angels to destroy the Israelites, because they were secretly weeping for Tammuz. And Jeremiah, I believe it's Jeremiah 44, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't been that in a while, and to that precept in a while. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Jeremiah either 1744 or 44:17, around there. I'm not going to go to it, where it speaks about making cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Well, what's the Queen of Heaven? The Queen of Heaven is with this Mary worship. That's why they say, Mary never had sex. They call her the ever virgin, and that's that crap that the ICGJC the ICGJC was teaching. Basically, they became Roman Catholics. High Priest Ariel became a Roman Catholic. High Priest Shaw became a Roman Catholic. High Priest Rawbon became a Roman Catholic. Tazadakia became a Roman Catholic, because he was pushing out the Israel doctrine when he was putting in there Roman Catholic doctrine. That's why if you go back to the beginning, they were teaching that Mary never had sex, and Mary never had any children, because she was the ever virgin. That's why you don't hear nothing about from the ICGJC, because the Most High is not dealing with them. The Most High is not dealing with High Priest Ariel, High Priest Shaw, or none of them right now. Now, if it's between them and the Most High, whether the Most High is going to wake them back up and have mercy on them. If the Most High don't have mercy on them, hey, so let it be. Let it be. And burn the graven images with fire. So not only are we to outright kill them, well, that's what they did. The Israelites did back then. The Most High gave strict orders to kill them, kill their men, their women, their babies, their sons and their daughters. Don't marry them. Don't rape them. Don't even rape them. Just kill them, and then destroy all the images. And why do you think the Most High is going to utterly destroy America? Because of the images. The building, the structure of the building goes back to Esau. They're idols. Anything that has to do with American what do you call it? American culture. It's burnt up. And then when we take this kingdom over, all these buildings around the world they're all going to be knocked down, and they're going to be rebuilt. And every country that you go to, anything that you do is going to be going back based upon the laws. You're going to have to build around you the things that are lawful. And we're going to rule with a rod of iron. And this is what the small hats are afraid of. So it says, but thus shall ye deal with them, ye shall destroy their altars and break down. So all them European churches, they all gonna be knocked down and break down their images. Ain't gonna be no pictures of Caesar Borgia out there. And the hard part, which is really the easy part, is when we go to wake up these Northern Kingdom tribes. Oh, we're gonna kill a lot of them. Oh, we're gonna fuck them up. Oh, they're gonna get fucked up. We're gonna spit some fire on them for real. Until they get it in their heathenistic nuggets in their damn brain that they're the Israelites. They're gonna fight against it. They're gonna fight against it, but we're gonna destroy them. We're gonna destroy them, and then they're gonna submit. Esau, that's in two places in Revelation where it speaks about they're not gonna repent of their murders and their idolatry and so forth and their witchcraft. So these Edomites, just like these dumb Ukrainians, they're fighting for Zelensky, and he's hiding some goddamn way. Anytime they show him, that's a green screen behind him. Look up Green's chroma key. That's a picture of some place in Ukraine. He's well taken care of, and from what I heard, he's a multi-billionaire now. He got a lot of money. This is NATO's war, which is really the U.S. war. The U.S. controls NATO, as I have said before. And what they're doing is, what's happening now is NATO is kind of seeing that, wait a minute, the fucking America don't give a fuck about us. That's what those sanctions are all about. So now it's a big thing about a price cap on gas. But now Putin, I'm all over the place, but that's all right. I'm not rambling. Now Putin, what he's going to do is he's going to change the standard of the price of the way you pay for gas to a gold-based currency. So if that happens, that's gonna really get the NATO nations upset. But guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna take it out on America. Revelation 17 and 12 on down. So at the end of the day, everyone that possesses ICBMs, they're gonna shoot them on this place, Babylon the Great. Just looking through this. Start the 21st verse. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for Yahweh thy power is among you, the Israelites, a mighty power and terrible. And Yahweh thy power will put out those nations. What nations? The Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, I think I said that, before thee, by little and little, thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. Now, you know what comes to mind? The movie I Am Legend, which is a great movie that Will Smith put together. He put together some great movies. He makes a movie that is going to be good. He's a top actor. He kind of kicked Denzel kind of out the box. All right. So the first opening scene of I Am Legend, he's driving down the street, and there's lions coming out, deers walking by, grass all over the place. In other words, if you can't just take out, you can't just take out the Canaanites just like that, just line them up and just kill them, because the animals will come in. So they had to be taken out little by little. You know, if you leave a certain place. Let's say you leave Manhattan, you just leave it alone for 10 years. Guess what? You're gonna when you come back, there's gonna be grass and trees, um, and you're gonna have animals roaming around where Manhattan is. So when Babylon the Great is destroyed, it's going to be utterly destroyed. There's not going to be no animals. There's not going to be no grass. There's not going to be. It tells you in Isaiah 14 about the root. There's not going to have no root because he's going to burn it all up. Oh, we're going to do some damage to these people. Oh, we're going to do some major damage, and we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to be a race of black Adams and Khalils and Jarrells and Kryptonians. We're gonna be we're gonna be the X-Men. We're gonna have spiritual power. And we're not gonna have just one power like Magneto. We're gonna have the power of Magneto, we're gonna have the power of Pyro, we're gonna have the power of Friezo, whatever the guy he was able to deal with, freezing niggas up. We're gonna have all that, man. We're gonna be able to fly. We're gonna have the power of Superman. We're gonna have the power of Black Adam. Like I said, we're gonna have the power of was it Thanos, whatever his name is. We're gonna have the power of Doom. Remember, Doom killed Superman, so we're gonna have the power of Doom. We're gonna have that. We're gonna flip tanks, vocab Malone, and you're gonna be a special kind of. We're gonna rent you out. You better hope like hell. You better hope like hell. You're a Canaanite. You better hope like you better. The one thing you don't want to be is an Edomite because we're gonna rent you out. If I get you as my slave, I'm gonna rent you out. I'm gonna rent you out, boy. Oh man. Oh, now there's a story behind this. The Jake took a Canaanite Babylonian garment and gold, where the Most High said, "Don't take nothing from them," and they started losing the battle. This is in the book of Joshua. I'm not going to go to it. And what they did, what the Most High did was, he said, because you did that, it was an order that you wouldn't did that. You caused a lot of Israelites to be killed. I believe the Most High said, kill him and his whole family, and burn him. That's the seriousness of the Most High. It says, 25th, 26th verse. I'll start at the 23rd verse, Deuteronomy 7, verse 23. But the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, shall deliver them unto thee, the Canaanites. And now the Most High told them not to mess with the Edomites, right? He told them that. Remember it says, abhor not an Edomite, and the word there, abhor, is not hate. It means to look at as an abomination, like your woman is on a period, you abhor her for 7 days. That don't mean you hate her, you stay away from her. So the Lord said, abhor not an Edomite, meaning they're not contaminated. They are cursed with a clean form of leprosy. Why do you think Jacob kissed him on the neck and had his sons kiss his offspring kiss him on the neck? Because he wasn't contaminated. He was a clean leper. And then later in the history, Moses, the Most High broke it down to Moses to give the children of Israel. There's two forms of leprosies. There's a clean leper and there's an unclean leper. So Miriam was considered like a clean leopard. So they said, you got to go out in the wilderness by yourself for 7 days. And if you come back, and when she came back, she was, the Most High restored her. So she was a clean leopard that the Most High restored. But if she was an unclean leopard, they would have left her out there in the wilderness. They would have said, just stay out there. Don't even come around us because you're contaminated. See, people don't even understand that. Edomites, so-called white people that you see are nothing but, they're nothing but albinos. That's all they are. See the blonde hair, Scandinavian, they're nothing but albinos, which are clean leopards. So it says, but the Lord Yahweh, thy power shall deliver them unto thee and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. And the Most High going to go back to this place, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Real talk. Real talk. And he shall deliver their kings into thine hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. And that's ultimately what's going to happen to you Edomites. Isaiah 14:21. There shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. Now, does that mean that the Canaanites were done away with? No. A lot of them escaped, and a lot of them were spared. They ran for their lives. So you still have the Canaanites among you to this day. It said the graven images of their gods, a lowercase g, shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver nor the gold that is on them. That's that whole scenario in Joshua. Nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy power, Yahweh, the Most High. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house. Like, what do you do now? The Christmas tree. You bring Thanksgiving into your house. You bring Easter into your house. You bring the Christmas holidays. And Jake still does this to this day, man. You got this guy, Paul Kersey. Oh, when you out there, ain't nobody stopped and listened to you. First of all, ain't nobody they elect went past us. The only ones that's going to stop and listen to us and come into this thing of the elect or the potential elect. And that's in 1 Corinthians 3rd chapter, around about the 15-ish verse. It speaks about, bringing in fruit, but some you're going to lose the fruit, but you yourself are going to be saved. The Most High is the one that's going to lead you into this truth. A lot of these people that's in it, becoming Israelites, if they're not of the elect, they're going to fall. They're going to go right back into the world. So it's not about numbers, man. Scriptures is dealing with a little sanctuary, as the scriptures say. It said, neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thy house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it, but thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. There goes the word abhor. I'm going to show you that the word abhor doesn't mean hate. It says, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. That means you can't hate us. Abhor. The word is tha'ib, to abhor, to be abominable. Do abominable, to be adhered to, detest in a ritual sense, like if your ritual sense and an ethical sense, meaning if your woman's on a period, you are to abhor her. She stays like you had. See, back in the ancient world, you had houses that the woman would stay in to loathe, abhor, regard as abomination. So that's a perfect example I can give you. You don't be around your woman on that site on a monthly cycle. And Christians don't follow that. Christians don't follow the laws. Okay, so let me go from there and move on. I want to deal with this word. Look at this. Live Zelensky proposes global peace summit for Ukraine to G7 nations. This is old news. A couple of days ago, maybe a day ago, Ukraine needs a 1 billion. Now they already took about $100 billion, and they'll get that money. They'll get 40 billion a week later. Cause I need some more money, and that's why your prices are going down. This this system is fucked up all the way around, and people see it. And people see in the news how many billions, 100 billion plus. It has to be 100 billion plus, because they gave them 20 billion 1 week, then a month later, another 30 billion. Then the biggest amount that they gave at one time was, I think it was 60 billion. So we're talking about is over $100 billion. So he says Ukraine needs 1 billion, which is going to turn into about 50 billion to restore infrastructure, economic relations, referring to Western sanctions on Russia. That I'm not going to read the rest of it. This guy's just a puppet for Esau over here in America. And they getting slaughtered. You know how many men died? Ukrainian men died. He's just sacrificing them, and I believe they're waking up too. The least of them shall draw them out. He's a small hat. Or they don't tell you the neo Nazis over there that don't give it, that can't stand Jake, but they're telling you over here in America, which may, oh, if you go back, there was a point where they had the Hasidim small hats over there in Ukraine, and they cut them off. They wouldn't let them go into stores and buy anything. So the Zelensky administration, the people, the government, the police, they're all anti-Semitic. So why is the U.S. helping them? You know. Anyway, let me do this. Manifest destiny. I'm mainly going to these right here, pull down menus. Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny was a cultural belief in the 19th century, the 1800s. It was actually 1845. They coined the phrase, century United States, that American settlers were destined to expand across North America. They don't care that Gadites are there. You know, it says pretty much the same thing. Manifest destiny, a phrase coined in 1845, is the idea that the United States is destined by the God, their God. Its advocates believe to expand its dominion, meaning rule, lordship, supremacy, and spread democracy, whether people liked it or not, and capitalism across the entire North American continent. Who's living out there in the West? The Gadites, Gad and Reuben. So what did they do? They just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna kill them." So now it's time for you to pay. what what are two examples of manifest destiny? Let's look at a few of these things. Manifest destiny is nothing but colonialism, neo-colonialism. And colonialism is a nice way of putting people in slavery. The people that you conquered, put them into slavery. Before the American Civil War, the idea of manifest destiny was used to validate continual acquisitions in the Oregon County, Texas. This is Gad, and this was Issachar. Why do you think New Mexico is not called New Mexico? It's because it was old Mexico. They took it, they pushed the Mexicans out further south, and they said, like Texas, these places, California, Mexico, or Spain was owned by Spain. The Middle America were owned by the French, and the East was a colony of Great Britain. That was the three horns being plucked up. Uh, California. California is a Spanish name, the Spanish-American War, and later it was used to justify the purchase of Alaska and annexation of Hawaii. Meaning, when you annex something, you take it. Because who lived in Hawaii? The sons of Japheth. Let's deal with some of these pull downs. There were three basic tenets to the concept of manifest destiny: the special virtues of the American people and their institutions, the mission of the United States to redeem, buy back, and remake the West in the image of the agreeing East, and irresistible destiny to accomplish the essential duty. And what was the essential duty? To kill the Gadites and the Reubenites and take the land. There was another form of the conquistadors who went down to South America, which are Edomites. But you're not going to pay. What is manifested? What is manifested destiny, and what did it cause? U.S. President Thomas Jefferson, Louisiana Purchase, that's what France, 1803, had doubled the size of the country, sparking people's desire to move west. There was this old saying, move west, young man, because there's opportunities out there. Spreading settlements along the country's borders caused friction with others. Right, the Gadites. The intervention of the U.S. government often resulted in an annexation to take over of more territory. So who were living in these territories? Gad. So they were just taking, you got a lot that, hey, a troop shall overcome him. That's how they took him over, through troops. But he shall overcome at the last. Was manifest destiny a good thing? Advocates of manifest destiny claim that expansion gave Americans a chance to discover places other than the community they grew up in. This was not only great for the economy and improvement, but also for personal gain, spirituality, emotionally, and socially. So, no, this is a good thing. I know we're killing a bunch of Indians, but it's ultimately good for the white man. Okay, I read this pretty much. Let me come here. Okay, does manifest destiny still exist today? It cannot be tied to a date, even event, or even a specific period of time. Manifest destiny existed and still exists as a philosophy that embraces American history as a whole. Manifest destiny is an intangible ideology, idea that created American history, meaning white American history. Oh yeah, now they're talking about reparations, right? Now they're talking about, well, it started with Newsom out there in California. Now it's over here in the New York State, where they're talking about giving every black that was born in the 1900s, giving them a check for 230,000 something plus, about 200, almost 250,000. That's chump change. You know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to give us 250,000 a year for the rest of our lives, the next 50 years. And you can't tax us on anything. There's a whole laundry list of things that you got to do. And then you got to adjust for inflation. When inflation happens, you got to give us more money. See, right now, if you got a $250,000 a check for a year, Jake is gonna fuck it up. First place they're gonna go. Where they're gonna go first? They're gonna go to the car dealership. And then they're gonna go buy. I'm rich, bitch. They're gonna get a box truck and buy as many cartons and Newports as they can. They're gonna get the Gucci. They're gonna be Gucci down and with a Louis Vuitton down or whatever. They're gonna get the best, whatever fashion. I'm not all into I'm not all into name brand shit. You know, man, I do my shopping at the Burlington Coat Factory. I ain't going to no high end store. If I was a millionaire, I'll still be going to Burlington Coat Factory. Shit. What is the dark side of manifest destiny? What was the biggest issue during manifest destiny? What was the major obstacle of manifest destiny? How did the manifest destiny affect the economy? How did the manifest destiny affect the natives? Many tribes were forcibly removed from their lands, in particular the Cherokee, Choctaw, Creek, Chickasaw, and Seminole, which is Reuben. This series of forced migrations became a famous one was the Trail of Tears. You had a lot of women that were pregnant that died along the Trail of Tears. They had to deal with the bad weather. A lot of infants died. A lot of old people died. So this was terrible, man. So look when we take you down, when we put you in the kingdom, it's not going to be a good experience at all. The only good experience you're going to have is when the Sabbath comes in. So once a week you'll be able to chill out and the high holy days. You're going to honor them high holy days, man. You're going to look forward to the Sabbath. You're going to honor the Sabbath more than us. This series of forced migrations became known as the what? As the Trail of Tears. A lot of infants died. A lot of pregnant women died. A lot of old, the aged died. And this was a heinous crime done by the sitting president was this guy Jackson, and he was known. His nickname was the Indian Killer. So he gonna come back, and he's gonna get his ass whipped every day except the high holy days and the Sabbaths. But now they're gonna call us anti-Semitic. And see, there was when the small hats went over there and took Israel, they took it from the Palestinians, which are dark people. A lot of them, I believe, are Israelites. The Israelis were already over there, and a lot of them could be Israelites. You had the Sephardic Jews, which a lot of them could be Jake, based upon my estimation, because I ran into Sephardic people, and they cool people. They don't look like the small hats, and they'll tell you in a minute. They say I'm a Jew. I said I'm not the European Jew. I'm a Sephardic Jew of Spain. So a lot of them were Israelites. So basically, the payback is a bitch. Payback is a bitch, Esau. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Was manifest destiny a blessing or a curse? It was a blessing to them, and it was a curse for us. Oh, how did Americans justify manifest destiny? The term manifest destiny was in part an expression of a genuine ideal on the part of Americans, white folk, but not African Americans, but it was also a justification in that they wanted territory and needed an excuse of justification to make things right for a push into territory that they did not control. And the term, and they'll tell you this is manifest destiny. The God in heaven, which the Most High did. The Most High did give you the power to take this place, so you can build up Babylon the Great. Okay, why was manifest destiny justified? Manifest destiny served as a justification for expansion by uh, conveying the popular belief that the United States had a divine task to which they did. The Most High put the Spirit. This is the fulfillment of Revelation chapter 20, starting from verse 1 on down. They do deceive the nations once again. So that's true. How did this man get the whole world? The Most High put the Spirit on him to take the whole world. But now you're going to have to pay for what you did. Remember what C.K. Lewis said? He said, if I come back, I'm going to re-up on white. And he said, we're going to have to pay for this shit. But for the meantime, whoopee! You got to watch that. He tells it like C.K. Lewis, if that's his name. He has his comedy skit, and he talks about how great it is to be white. But he says we're going to have to pay for it. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy myself. So he pretty much prophesied. Payback is a bitch. States had a divine task to expand its power and civilization across the width of North America. What is another word for manifest destiny? Boom. This is what I was looking for. Synonymous for manifest destiny. Colonialism is a nice way of saying slavery. Expansionism. Yeah, we had to expand, even though we killed millions upon millions of Indians. Imperialism. Imperialism. Look that word up. Neocolonialism, which is new slavery. Emancipation is what? Neocolonialism. Now, let me look up the word imperialism. That's why these devils think they're better than you. So let's look up the word imperialism. Imperialism. Imperialism is a state policy, practice, or advocacy of extending power and domination, rule, especially by direct territorial acquisition or by gaining political and economic control of other areas, often through employing hard power, but also soft power. Hard power is, use weapons against them. So in Job 9:24, it said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who has the whole planet Earth? The so-called white man. So he's the wicked. Malachi 1 tell you that he's the wicked. So how can any wicked be delivered? Vocab Malone. Mosai said he hated him in Malachi in Romans 9. And he mentions Esau, that the Mosai is not dealing with Esau at all. And we know that the Mosai is not dealing with any of these other nations, the Canaanites, the Ishmaelites, all these other nations, Elamites. He's only dealing with the children of Israel. So now let's get into a couple of precepts and I'll close it. Exodus 21. Let me see. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So this law is going to apply to you Edomites. Okay, it's in the same chapter. Because I just read Exodus 21 and 16. So down to 21 and 25. 23rd verse. And if any missions follow, then shalt thou give life for life. There were certain laws that you broke that was, unto death. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So we're going to be lynching you and hanging you in the kingdom too, tying you up on trees and whipping you. If we don't feel that you're working to the potential that you're supposed to be working at, we're going to whip you. It's not going to be good. Watch the movie Emancipation, which I didn't get a chance to see yet, but put your faces in it, because that's what you're going to be. And if a man smite the eye of a servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, the eye, lose the eye, he shall let them go free for his eye's sake. So if you injured your slave, you supposed to let them go free. They didn't do that. If you're a runner, they put a yoke of iron on your neck, or they'll chop your foot off or something. So you're going to have to pay. You are going to have to pay. I'll give you another other scriptures, which we're all familiar with. Isaiah, that came right out. Isaiah 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers, which are Israelites. The 7 used to say that I was talking about other nations. It's talking about Israelites. Shall be joined with them, with the elect, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, the servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captive they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give them the rest of the Israelites from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So you put us into captivity, you're going into captivity. So the future for you Edomites is hardcore captivity. Let me look up the word bondage. And the word is ibadah, labor, service, labor, work, labor, service, of captives, of subjects, service, of God. So at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, this place is going to be destroyed, and you're going into captivity anyway. With that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next one.